How goes it, guys? And I'm Drew, and we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about, and you can comment below if you'd like. Follow us on Instagram, DrewHenderson-Media on Instagram. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about why I don't consume caffeine. Yeah, I know it sounds weird. Somebody who doesn't consume caffeine, who's on YouTube, who's high energy. Like, how are you high energy without caffeine? Well, one, I'm just naturally caffeinated, I guess you could say. No, not really. I'm actually pretty tired most of the time. I just put as much energy as I can into these, so it appears that I've got a lot of energy. And that's not really the case. But no, the reason why I don't consume caffeine is I've chosen to weaponize my caffeine. Oh boy, you're weaponizing something. Oh God. Let the Democratic snarls begin. He's weaponizing caffeine. Right? No, not like you think of. It's not some weapon of mass destruction kind of thing. I just take caffeine out of my diet when I don't need it. Nor do I take caffeine unless I absolutely need it. So I don't get up in the morning and drink a cup of coffee every day. Well, I do get up every morning. I do drink a cup of coffee, but it's decaffeinated. And yes, you can argue that not all decaffeinated coffee is 100% decaffeinated, but in comparison to the real stuff, this stuff is like shooting blanks, right? You get all the bang, but none of the bullet, right? I get all the taste, I get all the psychological stimulation a warm cup of coffee has to me in the morning, but I don't need the caffeine portion of it. And without taking the caffeine means I don't get a crash later. I don't suddenly become groggy, like if you drink energy drinks on a regular and do all that stuff. But do I still consume caffeine? Yes. I consume caffeine when I absolutely need it, when I need to be alert, focused, or I've got a paper I've got to write, or I've got to just be really able to hammer something down and not get groggy or not need a food break or any of that stuff. I'll power down a Red Bull. I'll power down a Monster Purple, or one of the Monster fruit drinks, but just doing what I can to ensure that I have caffeine in my system when I absolutely need it, hence the term weaponizing it. But when I don't need caffeine, or I don't feel like I'm going to need it, I don't consume it just for the sake of consumption. So I don't drink, sodas with caffeine in them. Yes, I still drink root beers because a lot of root beers still are caffeine free except for Bart's, hence the term Bart's has bite. The bite is in reference to caffeine, not the flavor. Or at least that's what I believe, because it doesn't taste any better than any other thing. It's just you got a caffeinated soda versus a non-caffeinated soda against everybody else. And the people who make root beer. Now, cream soda is caffeinated. If you didn't know that, you should read the label, because a lot of them are caffeinated unless specifically stated that they are not caffeinated. So I stay away from caffeine in that sense. I don't consume it. I don't take in large amounts of caffeine unnecessarily. I love watching these people consume 3 or 4 Red Bulls a minute, thinking that's what they need to do to stay focused and sharp. Well, actually, if you stop feeding your body all that junk when it doesn't need it, you'll realize that your body is naturally alert, naturally quite awake. It may take you an extra half an hour or an hour in my part to be 100% alert and awake from when I wake up, versus if I wanted to suck down a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, I could be ready to go in 45 minutes. But I choose not to, because I don't want to crash in 2 hours, or I don't want to have jitters or getting headaches. And somebody who suffers from migraines constantly, caffeine intake is king, right? So I don't take in caffeine, and when I do have an ocular migraine, you'll have to look what that is up in context to a regular migraine, because I get some awesome ocular migraines that would give an LSD person the trip of a lifetime in some cases on what happens with my vision. I'm just kidding. It goes completely, it just washes out white. It doesn't do the sparkly thingies or the weird donut thing that a lot of people say when they get oculars. I get the full-blown one. I don't get the cool visual distortions. I just get blindness, right? When I suffer from ocular migraines. And I've learned that over the last year, where I've reduced my amount of caffeine intake, I've slowly learned that my migraines, or at least the ocular, go down drastically. I don't have them as often. I still have them when the weather flips and flops, but I don't have them because I wake up and I forget to drink coffee or take in large quantities of caffeine in order to make my day. And for those of you who consume a lot of caffeine, you realize when you stop taking caffeine cold turkey, you suddenly start getting some mind-numbing headaches. And I don't mean they numb your head, they just wish your head was numb. They hurt like a mother, right? Like a mother with a chocolate on the back of your head kind of pain, right? So yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I took and stopped taking in caffeine, because I needed to curb my migraines to focus from work, because when I get migraines, obviously I can't go anywhere, I can't even function and do my job, because my job is completely visual. And if you've ever lost your vision out of one eye temporarily, it totally messes with your ability to see things in depth perception and do certain things to the point that it's awfully annoying, on top of the fact that you can't already see. So that's the predominant reason why I have stayed away from caffeine, and I only choose to weaponize it, as I like to say, when I absolutely need to be awake, or I absolutely need to be functioning, or, you know, like, I just need the extra energy to get through a workout. That's actually a lie. I don't take a pre-workout anymore. I don't take any of that stuff, and I still get a pretty solid workout. And yeah, I don't get some massive gains because I'm not dumping a bunch of chemicals in my body, but I'm also a skinny ass dude too, so putting mass on this body is not easy by any context. I've tried, and the only time, I will be honest, the only time I was successful with it was when I had to take a steroid to put weight on, right, to recover, and that was the only time I was actually ever really big and large, was when I was taking a steroid. And I got it back in, so we're gonna do that, and we're home now. If I can figure out how to drive my own truck. And that beeping clicking noise you're hearing, that honed in on my yardstake as I was backing up here. And FYI to the engineers at Ford, your backup camera and the setup you have with your sensors blows donkey balls. Just so you know, it totally sucks. And if you're looking at an F-150 and you're looking to buy one, quick pro tip, don't buy one. And that's all. Have a nice day.